Okay, good morning, folks, and welcome to the briefing on Saturday the 17th. Lovely, beautiful sky out there this morning. Looks like it should be another nice day. This run of good weather is fantastic. Good to have. Just like last year, we had a run of good weather when we couldn't fly. But this year it's obviously colder and much better for gliding. So what have we got today? Well, if you looked at the picture from yesterday, you'd see exactly the same thing. This sort of ridge of high pressure still in here. Pressure's dropped again a few millibars. 1028 pretty much over us. All of the country in about the same sort of pressure. And over the next few days, it sort of clings in there for tomorrow, and then pressure dropping again on Monday, but it still looks like it should be a cross-country day. So, nice weekend coming up. The TAFs, well, it's an interesting one. Winds are light and variable. Most places seem to have, a sort of easterly drift towards the high pressure. Farnborough saying 010, 3 knots. I think we're going to be sort of northeasterly here, light, 4 or 5 knots probably, but no more than that. A little bit like yesterday, sometimes when thermals were going through, both windsocks were pointing at each other, so the wind could be very variable during the day on the ground. This is the interesting one. Cav OK, no clouds below 5,000 feet, Farnborough forecasting. Gatwick is showing few at 4.5, and 1 or 2 other places like Luton are showing few at 4.5, Birmingham. So there is going to be cumulus about, but I think much less than yesterday. Upper winds, easterly drift, as you can see across here, 5 knots. So not particularly strong. So I think generally across the country, light easterly. Sat picks completely clear. No, well, very thin layer of upper cloud, but not much. I think some of this upper cloud coming off the North Sea might come towards us late in the day, but it's not really going to be an issue. Temperature wise, didn't quite get down as low as last night, the night before. So temperatures building a little bit quicker, not the sort of layer of cloud keeping the temperature down that we had yesterday. So I think we're looking at 12s and 13s around here. Late afternoon, a little bit warmer than yesterday, obviously with the light winds. It won't be quite such a wind chill. Dew points, they got down to about -4 yesterday at about sort of 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and I think they'll be heading in the same direction today. So dew points by mid to late afternoon will be -3, -4 around us, a little bit less further north, I think. But pretty good temperature split, and that's going to be the factor whether we see cumulus or not. It's how far down the dew points go. The soundings are showing that you see the lines here are further apart, much drier air mass than yesterday and the day before. And the dew points will be all the way down here. And you can sort of join the lines up, and if you're looking at dew points about -3, you'll get tiny amounts of cumulus. Dew points lower than that, with 12, 13 degrees, you're not going to see any Q. So it's going to be one of those days where 1/8 cumulus, maybe 2/8 in places are the best you're going to see, and lots of blue areas, I suspect. But it should be 5,500 feet. I think with 13 degrees, 5.5 above sea level will be realistic. I looked further north, just at the sounding, past Buckingham. Similar sort of thing, 5,500. That's showing a little bit more chance of cumulus further north. Just small amounts though. And the Herstmansow sounding, which is the only one you can get at the weekend, shows again this inversion here. It requiring about 6 or 7 degrees to break the inversion. By sort of 8 degrees, we should get soaring, which I think is probably going to be late morning. I think it'll be gone 11, I suspect, before we even contemplate launching. And then down here, you've got the sort of dew point temperature. If it's sort of about -3, that's great. You're going to see small amounts of cumulus at about 1,500 meters. So it will all depend on dew point temperature really today. Top Meteo are erring on the side of not much cumulus in the Lasham area here, but sort of patches over Cambridge and north. Certainly, I think there's going to be cumulus up to the north. But just running through, that's 12 o'clock. Let's go back. They're saying it should see cumulus by 11 o'clock in places. And then during the day running through, that's 2 o'clock. And again, nothing over us. 5 o'clock in the afternoon, still cumulus about to the west and to the north. But you can see the encroaching upper cloud here. I think that's probably a bit pessimistic. I think we will see bits of cumulus at times all over the country. And thermal heights, they're going with the same sort of thinking that I'm working on. Starting mid to late morning, 3,500 feet. And by early afternoon, it's saying 1,600 meters in here. Good in Wales as well. And all the way up really to Husbos and into Cambridgeshire. So 1,600 meters, 5,000 feet plus, all the way up to sort of Husbos and out to the west as well. So good over quite a large area, and their predicted distance shows that. Obviously, they put the little green bits, I suspect, where they think there's going to be cumulus, but it should be good over quite a large area. Blue with small amounts of cumulus. So quite a nice day. Light easterly winds, small amounts of cumulus. Should be good for 400 to 500k, hopefully, if we can launch you by, before 12 o'clock. We managed to launch 70 gliders yesterday in just over an hour. So shouldn't be a problem, even if there's a big grid today, getting you away fairly quickly. Okay, so airspace wise, folks, there's not really a lot going on. I'll just delete some of the things that we don't want to see. And you'll see that it's a bit of a rerun of the last couple of days. So Southampton's airspace today, they're operating from 9 o'clock in the morning till 1 o'clock in the afternoon. After that, should be closed down. I would advise, if you do go in there after 1 o'clock, maybe make a blind call. You might get a response, but it should be closed. I suspect that the tower probably closes down and nobody's there. Danger area crossing service, there isn't one available at the moment because their controllers aren't approved to give that kind of service. The odd paragliding, this is all paragliding in through here, taking place, and paramotors. And the restricted airspace at Windsor Castle, which is 9 nautical miles, all day essentially. And that's pretty much it. In the centre of the country, very, very little going on. These ones here are just Bristol and Cardiff's operating hours. So not really a lot going on, folks. Very, very quiet. Okay, operationally, we're on 09. There's no jet movements today, or even light aircraft movements that we know about. So if you're out on the grid, we'll launch you when we think we can. If you're part of the training, we'll get the launch point vehicle out fairly shortly and crack on with training and check flights. Okay. That's all, folks, and hopefully see you tomorrow.